touch all your seatbelts, touch all your connections, touch your Hans. Just make sure you get everything like you want it. Favor, just touch all your seatbelts, touch all your connections, touch your Hans. Just make sure you get everything like you want it.
Well, good evening. Pardon me. Good evening, Sigma race fans. We come at you here live. Hold on. Get my mic in my face. There we go. That sounds a little bit better. Well, good evening, Sigma race fans. We are coming at you live here tonight from Kansas Motorspeedway for the USATrucks West Division. And tonight's 100 lap event, 150 miles. It is the Great Plains 150 here tonight at Kansas. And let's get through the starting lineup here tonight. On the front row, you have Osceola Escobar and Barry Urwal, both race winners so far this year. One more recent than the other. Can they show up here tonight and fight for a win? Next row back, you have David Dixon and the 07 there of Borat Sagdiev, a two-time race winner on the season. Matt Yard and Campbell Marsh, followed by Jack Davis and Daniel Voiles. Donovan Heist, the opener, season opener race winner, alongside Shy Turtle, looking for his first truck win of the season. He was successful in Bridge to Cup a couple weeks ago. Kyler Sestre and Walker Bacon with Luis Rodriguez and Mark Walker. Then you have Billy Lovejoy. Actually, hold tight real quick, folks. There's been a bit of a hold up here because I keep forgetting. He's got a new truck paint scheme to unveil here today, so let's get that paint scheme thrown on the car, on the truck, so that it'll be featured here tonight. He went ahead and painted up his Oreo paint scheme for the truck and kind of commemorate Dale Sr.'s last paint scheme that he ran. And I kept forgetting, and I want to apologize to Billy Lovejoy on that behalf, that it's really, you know, just me and my headspace and my frantic lack of ability to get things kind of situated lately. So we will get the new truck entered here. And it might shake up the running order a little bit, so we'll see who qualifies where once we get this all reset. But I kept promising I would get it situated so that he's got his new truck scheme here tonight. Hopefully everyone's having a wonderful night here so far. We're getting things, last minute adjustments made here so that the race runs as it was supposed to. And yeah, tonight is the USATrucks West Division here at Kansas. Billy Lovejoy's got a new truck paint scheme being represented here tonight. Alrighty, so after getting things adjusted there, sorted and settled, new lineup is to unfold here in just a moment.
Touch your Hans, just make sure you get everything like you want. Favor, just touch all your seatbelts, touch all your connections, touch your everything like you want it.
Alrighty, so lineups changed a little bit here. Requalified, and it is now Barry Urwall with the pole here tonight alongside the 81 of Daniel Voiles. And then Osiel Escobar falls back one row alongside Matt Yard. And then you have the 13 here of Miko Kunez alongside Jack Davis, Campbell Marsh, and Borat Sagdiev. Billy Lovejoy with his Good Wrench Service Plus Oreo truck here tonight, commemorating the last paint scheme that Dale Sr. had drove prior to his untimely passing. Then you have the 80 alongside of him of Shy Turtle. Then it's Walker Bacon and David Dixon, Rich Roy and Noah Hobson with Kat Durham and Donovan Heist, Kyler Sestre and Casey Nonico, Taylor Cording and Mark Walker, Matthew Huber and his teammate there, Spinham Walker, Chris Jeremio alongside Jimmy West, Luis Rodriguez with Jamie McMurphy, Gabe McDuffie alongside Chasey Plays. Then you have Roach and Santi Messi, Bailey Parker and Paul Tabarini, Jason So and Paulo Landino, Jakov Rosovich and Lucas Holmes, Zach Magoon and John Brinker with Jonathan Sheridan and Davian West rounding out the field here today. 100 laps the distance, 150 miles here. And it should be a good one. Wondering if I have gotten the truck points updated here lately. Let me go double check our point standings and see how things look right now. Was able to get truck Bridge to Cup and Cup scored. Looks like I might be short a race for the trucks, as tonight at Kansas marks race number 7 on the West Coast. Only have 5. Osiel Escobar and Borat Sagdiev rolled into last week, tied for the points. And so the points are a little bit off, but we'll try to figure it out. We're rolling here tonight from Kansas. for the Great Plains 150. Barrier Wall gets off to a good lead here, but Osiel Escobar making a move on the inside. He's got a good push of trucks behind him there. Second in row, you have Miko Kunez. Third in row, you have Campbell Marsh, and then even Billy Lovejoy in the top 5 on that inside line. Barrier Wall settles in front of the 65, leads that lap at the 65, knocks on the door saying, I'm here, I want to take the lead. Good battle at the lead here as they're going almost 3 wide for 5th on back. Osiel Escobar gets there alongside the 20, but the 20 hauling the mail on the outside line, keeps the lead, builds that advantage back up. Leads lap 3 there, 3 for 3 to start the race. Miko Kunez with a good push from the 8 truck there. Daniel Voiles from front row, he's starting to fall back just a little bit. Campbell Marsh on the inside line has Miko Kunez right ahead of him here. And Osiel Escobar now running down the 20 again. Barrier Wall leads 4th circuit around here tonight. Fastest lap in the race as well. Oh, and that swapped hands just that last lap. Osiel Escobar with the fastest lap, catching up to the 20. All in the meanwhile, they're starting to stretch it out on the rest of the field behind them. Kansas here tonight marks, I think, let's see. It is actually the first 1.5 mile track on the West calendar. Kind of surprising. On the East Coast, we've had a couple more 1.5 miles because we had Atlanta, Homestead, Chicagoland. Those were in simultaneous order. But for the West Coast, not as many 1.5 mile cookie cutter intermediate racetracks that we run at. Kansas is close enough on this side to be classified as a West Coast race. It's a western, it's west of the Mississippi, that is. That is how we rule the West and the East division. Trying to figure out what next year is going to look like in these trucks. I would love to keep, and I'm thinking obviously maybe doing a more condensed schedule. It's hard to say what that'll look like right now, but maybe doing it only on specific weeks with marquee race events to try and really deliver the most exciting, race week. And so one of the thoughts I'm thinking about is with the Cup schedule, maybe I'll pick 15 of the best Cup races and we'll have a support race with the trucks on certain weeks. It'll be a much smaller, more condensed, maybe no longer an East and a West. Everything that we're seeing right now is kind of the, we're at the peak of what I'm capable of doing as one individual. So a lot of changes I'm looking at, and it's going to be a lot of downsizing to make my life a lot easier. I've always been, bigger is better, and I just go over the top way too often. And so this year will feel like a accomplishment. The fact that I've been able to put through an entire 4 series calendars across the whole year of 2026. Obviously, it's, this was the big one for me because it's the racing in memory of Greg Biffle, the big 2026 16th anniversary of the Sigma Cup Series. It just was too perfect not to roll with. And so, yeah, with the birth of my kid coming in July, a lot of things are going to have to change here. And they're going to have to change pretty quickly to give me the most time to juggle all the levels of everything that is life. So I greatly appreciate everyone's support. I don't try to, it's hard for me to keep up with all the messages. So I'm only one person, so I Appreciate everything that everyone's done for the server. I appreciate everyone's support and everyone's interest. And rest assured, we're going to make it work. We're going to make it just as exciting as it still is, but we're just going to kind of shape it down into a smaller, neat, fun-sized box that everyone can enjoy a little bit easier, even myself. Well, so far 11, now 12 laps through tonight, and it's been all Barry Irwal leading for the whole time. Daniel Voiles just clicked off fastest lap in the race. He's running in 4th there, right alongside Borat Sagdiev. Then you have Matt Yard with Miko Kunez, and even the 2 of Billy Lovejoy cruising up front to the front of the field. Good run from that number 2 truck. The Oreos, good wrench service paint scheme moving up. You also got the Trackhouse B entry there of Cat Durham. And then Kyler Sestre. The 8, Campbell Marsh dropping backwards still. 50 of Taylor Cording on the move. Tyler Aspinall Racing has David Dixon and Donovan Heiss running 12th and 13th there. As it's pretty spread out from front to back at the moment as they are getting things figured out here tonight. All 40 trucks still out there running. Now your front 4 getting a lot tighter here. Daniel Voiles closing in on the top 2. Osceola Escobar still flirting with trying to take that lead away from Barry Irwal. And now we got a 5-truck fight for the lead of this race. And it's only lap 15. This is getting good. Daniel Voiles fastest lap. He's showing his muscles early on here, up to 3rd. Even then, you got 6th on back starting to close in on the front of the field as well. So this could get really good. Daniel Voiles making a move here, trying to get around the 65. Osceola closes the door pretty quickly there. Daniel Voiles looking for race win number 1, and this is very early in his career. I think he's still, you can count all his starts that he's had on 2 hands, basically. So if he were to get a win, he would be getting it pretty early in his career. A lot of drivers, it usually takes multiple seasons, sometimes multiple seasons, more than a handful of races even, to get that first win. And here he is up front fighting early the start of this Kansas race today. Borat Sagdiev now gets up to 3rd there as Daniel Voiles falls back to 4th. And here comes Billy Lovejoy starting to work his way into the picture a little bit closer here. Shoot, I gotta make an adjustment here real quick, folks. Just hold tight. Turn better cautions on, and we are golden. And since we're already at lap 18, I can actually enable green-white checkers for the necessary need if we do need it. Well, Barry Irwal putting on quite the show early on here. It's a Toyota Duo leading the field 1-2. And here comes the 65. Osceola Escobar wants to get around him finally. Took him 19 laps, but he might actually have a shot here. They drag race down the backstretch. The 20 might be able to get back around him here. This is some good racing at the lead for the race. 20's going to rail it around the outside and keep the lead away from Osceola Escobar. In the meanwhile, here comes the Holden. Number 07 there, Borat Sagdiev into the picture. Matt Yard also creeping up into 4th there. Billy Lovejoy trying to go high. That might be an interesting move there. Keeps Cat Durham at bay in the 22 machine. And he's going to start charging back in the direction of the lead. Matt Yard up to 5th. I don't know where he came from, but he's having a good run here tonight. Well, we're officially 1/5 of the way through the race here. This one's going to be flying by pretty quickly. 100 laps at Kansas goes by in the blink of an eye. Should be at least one round of pit stops here today around lap 66 to 70 maybe. Let us look and see what NR2003 recommends. Yeah, 66. I was right about on top of that. So we'll see it sooner than that. It'll probably be more, the window will open up at lap 60 to 65. Most drivers don't push it all the way to 66, but it's a perfect one-stop race here for these trucks, as is pretty typical with our USA Trucks division. No ARCA this week, unfortunately. They have a week off. Then we do have Bridge to Cup tomorrow night and Cup on Thursday as well. Daniel Voiles gets in there alongside the 07, moving up to 3rd now. Matt Yard with the 5-hour Energy Ford F-150 moving closer into the picture as well. And don't count out Billy Lovejoy as his Oreo truck is moving, hauling the mail at the moment. Still Daniel Voiles with the fastest lap. Probably won't see another fast lap turned until after they make their green flag pit stops here today. Or given that we actually stay green all the way through the first round of pit stops, I guess. Voiles up to 2nd now. He's going to get the advantage on the inside line, and he's going to get around Osiel Escobar. That 81 truck looking stout. So now the Fords are creeping their way into the picture here. Both Matt Yard and Daniel Voiles. I want to say both of them for Jacob Shangle Racing. That is a good sign. They are working their way to fighting for the lead here. Lap 26. Then you got the Chevy of Billy Lovejoy also sneaking into the picture here. All in the meanwhile, Barry Irwal has been dominantly holding this lead for quite some time here. It ain't going to take much longer for him to lock up lead most laps here today. As you can see, we'll take a look at the laps led here today. 26 of 26, all of them have gone to the 20 of Barry Irwal. If he even leads 50 of them, he'll have led most laps bonus tied up here today regardless of his finish. He's doing a very stellar job from pole position as well. Not always a surefire conversion to race winning, but it definitely helps a lot. As we've been looking at statistics across all of Sigma Racing, it doesn't seem very common that a driver usually wins from pole position. These trucks are a little different though, because the race lengths are so much shorter that it's a little bit easier to achieve a pole position race win. But our endurance length races like the Cup Series and even Bridge to Cup tend to run a lot longer, and even a pole position is often hard to maintain throughout the entire day. Unless your name's someone like Al Bunch or Taden Bergeron, as of the last couple years, where they get pole position, lead the most laps, and secure a race win by the end of the night. Those are some very rare and uncommon occurrences, but they do happen. And we've seen a couple of them happen here in the trucks already where they've dominated from pole and went on to win the race. But it's just not always the case, so we'll see. No commentators jinx here tonight. We're not rolling like that. We're just hoping for some great racing from start to finish, and that's exactly what we've got so far. Now, you know what? Eventually it'll get you the results that you're hoping for. That's the thing. Eventually all those poles have got to be able to transition to a race win. It's not like not like it's a detriment by any means. It's just bad luck at that point where you've unfortunately not been able to convert to a race win. And that even goes to show you the Bridge to Cup series is kind of one of the lengthier series, and you get about 3 or 4 pit stops throughout a day. It really does shake up the results, the order, and makes a big change from start to finish. Yeah, Rocket Man Ryan Newman was always one of those drivers that got on pole position a lot. And if you had to compare, let's look and see what his stats were back in the day, because I bet he'd had more poles than he ever had race wins. Rocket Man Ryan Newman had earned 51 pole position starts in his NASCAR Cup career, and he only was able to get 18 wins in 699 starts. That to me says something. 699 starts, it sounds like Ryan Newman needs to come back and make one more start for his 700th career start. Is that for real? I don't want to trust the AI on that one because it often gives you some faulty results. Okay, so that's the thing. It was pulling from an old article. He actually has made 733 career starts. Best result in the championship, second back in 2014. I remember that year very fondly. I went to the Bristol race, the night race in 2014. And even Kevin Harvick, my favorite driver growing up, ended up winning the championship that year. Ryan Newman came in second. Yeah, I remember he was in the 31 car. And if Harvick had faltered or anything, it would have been Ryan Newman's championship to win. That's wild, actually, to be tied with Snake on most poles in Bridge to Cup. He's the guy that everyone's got their sights set on because he's probably going to be the one to bring it into the chase. Those of you that are tuned in here tonight, one of the big news breaks from the past couple days was definitely the announcement for the Bridge to Cup. The Sigma Full Send to Cup chase for the championship. Our Bridge to Cup series, it'll be 12 drivers fighting for the final 6 races of the season, and only one of which will get promoted to Cup. And we decided to go with the name Full Send to Cup. It doesn't really roll off the tongue yet, but it's clever, and I think it'll be marketable and favored by many of the Bridge to Cup stars who will be seeking to get that championship and earn their charter up into the Cup Series. Oh, heck yeah. No, you're Ryan Newman. If you want to be, I think that's the best comparison because even, the old man, Sebastian Galloway Jr. kind of fits that mold of old man Ryan Newman. I haven't really fine-tuned the details on the Bridge to Cup chase yet. The Full Send to Cup chase is going to be kind of a hybrid between the playoff and the chase format. It's still going to honor the win and you're in system. And so if we look at Bridge to Cup right now, let's go ahead and take a peek at the point standings in Bridge to Cup. those are up to date, as I mentioned earlier tonight. Let's see if we've got 12 different winners. We've got Lefty Turner with the race win, Joey Johnson and Snake Plissken at 2 apiece. Cannon Gage got his first ever career win just the other night. Krista Cower, Chase Kovacic, and Campbell Marsh, followed by, that's it. So 7 drivers. Willow Blake left the server, so she's technically not eligible. So 7 of the 12 have been confirmed. Shoot, what did I was looking at the wrong 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I missed Shy Turtle. Shy Turtle has a race win this season, so that makes 8 actually. 8 confirmed winners, and they're pretty much in the top 13 in points, top 12. So the other drivers, Sebastian Galloway Jr. is in at the moment with 0 wins. Philip Purpura, Ralph Oberstadt, Alex Sanvital, and Santi Messi is on the outside looking in. He's actually on the bubble. So that gives you an idea of what the chase is going to look like here in a couple months. It'll be August once we roll into it. It'll be kind of like the August aggro that we did last year. 5 of them will be knocked out in rapid succession, and the championship will be determined on a race in September, first week. I was trying to figure out other clever concepts for the chase, because it is bridge to cup. I just didn't, honestly, it's hard to put a bridge theme into it. Looks like the 81 of Daniel Voiles made his pit stop extra early. Oh, wait, he had an oil leak. So an oil leak forced him down pit road. Now he's on an alternate strategy. He came in on lap 39, so that's going to be 61 laps to the finish. We'll see. If this thing stays green, it might actually shuffle in his favor. But that means your leaders are going to have to make their pit stop eventually here. Barry Earwall's led all these laps. He's going to have led most laps locked down in the books already here tonight after 45 laps led at the front of the field. Yeah, another one that had come up that I wasn't very fond of was the crossing instead of the chase, but it just didn't feel like a full, it didn't feel racer enough. It didn't feel like, it didn't scream race car, excitement. Didn't really. Yeah, and I honestly, the one I went with full send to cup because it's so, it's polarizing. Some people don't really want to associate with the whole full send culture, while there's a bunch of people that do. I felt like, and that's how I've kind of built this whole Sigma premise. I mean, Sigma in its own, the stigma behind Sigma drives everyone nuts because they're like Sigma male this, Sigma that, Sigma. It's the whole Gen Alpha, I guess, is the ones that brought on all the skibbity toilet Riz Sigma. Well, I wanted to try and reclaim the phrase, the term Sigma, because it was so cool. Greek letters and stuff are just cool to me, no matter what. Alpha, Beta, Delta, Epsilon, all of those. It just seems cool. Cruise to Cup, that one actually not bad either. You get a free cruise when you win the championship and a charter in the Cup Series. sponsored by Norwegian Cruise Lines or something. I don't think I'd have the pocketbooks to actually give people a free cruise whenever they win the championship, but it would be cool. Get a free cruise when you win in the Bridge to Cup Series, and then your bridge to the Cup Series is on the other side of a free cruise. Well, we're halfway now. 50 laps led at the front for Barry Irwall. 50 laps left to go. Billy Lovejoy has slotted his way up to third here, fighting for the top 2 spots ahead of him. Great battles all night long, keeping it interesting at the front of the field. Matt Yard in the number 60. The lone surviving Ford in the mix there. You got the Holden a little bit further back. Catwalk to Cup. I mean, because I'm a cat person, I would like to make a spin on it that way. Just the cats. I know it's a different, catwalk is a little different because that's like a fashion show. Moonwalk. Now we're getting Jimmy, or we're getting Michael. What? Why am I brain spacing? Michael Jackson in the series somehow. That's definitely interesting. The Michael Jackson moonwalk to the Cup Series. That is, of the series, I am very much planning on keeping Bridge to Cup and Cup as pretty much my staples going forward. I don't want to fold trucks completely, but I'm thinking trucks might become a more, just a select race schedule, and then maybe we'll make it the all-stars of the series. We'll try to figure out a way to incorporate some of the big names back into the truck series like it used to be. Set it up as a truck race the night before a cup race and stuff like that. So many of these drivers have already worked their way up the ladder. And so I think what we'll end up doing is really figuring out who's the most active, trying to weed out the least active on the server. And we'll have a full field for Bridge to Cup going forward. And maybe some new folks, new faces up in the Cup Series. Well, the battle's still brewing here for the lead. They have not been able to get around Barry Irwall, but they're showing their muscles here. Launch, rocket launch, a rocket boost to Cup. Launch, fire, 3, 2, 1, blast off. Blast off to Cup. That wouldn't be that wouldn't be bad. First round of green flag pit stop surely around the horizon here, as we are now 44 laps to the end of it. Don't know where Daniel Voiles is going to shake out after he made his unscheduled pit stop there. There is some traffic ahead of drivers that are making their pit stops, it looks like. Or perhaps just under regular race pace, about to go a lap down. Hard to say at the moment. But yeah, with the full send to Cup, that's, you know, kind of down the veins of Greg Biffle and even like Cletus McFarland and the lifestyle, kind of the trying to capture that with our series here in Sigma. And like I said, I know there's a lot of negative stigmas around the concept of Sigma, but that's why we are here. We want to try and cancel out the negative stigmas that hold back the Greek symbol of Sigma. Plus, I was a fan of Mega Man growing up, so one of the bosses in the video game Mega Man, his name was actually Sigma. And Mega Man X, which, I mean, if you look at today, they were on the edge of being, you know, the edgelords with their design and concept of the video game. And everything seems to have kind of gravitated towards that X, that Sigma, that grit, you know? I mean, look at Twitter changing its name to X. The whole idea or the concept behind the letter X has definitely drawn great attention over the years. Well, back in the day, 1990s, Mega Man X was a thing, and Zero, which of all things too, I mean, just like it's drawn on that, you know, that inner desire for that edge, you know, that edgy side of things. I don't know. I'm rambling here now. But yeah, definitely Mega Man X was one of my favorite games, and I feel like my whole concept behind the NASCAR Racing 2003 Sigma series has a lot to do with my love of Mega Man growing up. So, as weird as that sounds, I don't know how you can make the connection between the two of those. Obviously, someone like a fan of Sonic the Hedgehog would make more sense, more correlations to becoming a race car, you know, stalwart for racing video games. I mean, you're not wrong. The enigma of Sigma, he is very much hard to explain how his success came to be in the Cup Series, the Bridge to Cup Series, all the series that he's started so far. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, Proto Man Zero, Mega Man, and X. It was those are the days I kind of, you know, forget about my, you know, growing up playing all the Mega Man games and stuff. Lead change for the first time here tonight. The 65 of Osiel Escobar gets around, but look at that. The 20 is going to stay out and never loses much more than one lap at the lead there. Lap traffic did mix things up a little bit, but they're pitting now. And Barry Earwall is going to stay out a little bit longer. See, to me, I'm still so bummed that there's not any new Mega Man stuff within the last, like 5 to 10 years. It feels like, at least. I know they're going to bring out a new Mega Man game in 2027, which is far too long between installations, and yet it's going to be another mainline entry, which is fine. I mean, I think it's going to be like Mega Man 12 now, but they're not really calling it Mega Man 12. They have a title for the game. Still waiting for Mega Man X9 and whatever X10 would be. It would just be Mega Man X, right? Because if you're looking at Roman numerals, how would you go Mega Man X10? Would that be 1010? Mega Man 11, I want to say, came out like in 2011. It was Edition. Maybe it was sooner than that. They did make it. I think they actually made it for PS4, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, Mega Man 11 came out in 2018. Mega Man 10 was the one I was thinking that came out in like 2010, 2011. So every game has been within 10 years a piece lately. Yeah, Mega Man 10 came out in 2010. I remember having that one on the PS3. They released it on the Wii and everything. 8 years later, they bring out Mega Man 11. And then 9 years later, they're going to bring out what is technically Mega Man 12. And they're calling it Dual Override, the official 12th mainline entry in the classic Mega Man series, announced for a 2027 release. Not much is known about it. I knew they had a competition, a contest to try and draw and create one of the Robot Masters. I was tempted, but I didn't think that my skills were as honed to make a Robot Master for Mega Man. I kind of want to stick to the painting of race cars for the most part. Well, after the first round, the one round of pit stops here tonight, Osceola Escobar gets out to the lead over the number 2 there, Billy Lovejoy. Yeah, so I'm interested to see what the new one in 2020. I'll get it. I'm sure I'm gonna purchase it when it drops and play it wherever, which console is most convenient at that time. I'm definitely not breaking down and buying a PS5 by any means, because it just not enough new games coming out to justify it. Let's go ahead and look and see where Daniel Voiles got shaken out through the process of his unscheduled pit stop here today. Looks like the 81 might have only lost a little bit of time. He's back up to 6th. So his unscheduled pit stop for an oil leak actually kind of saved him a little bit here. We'll see if he can stretch it a little bit longer. But definitely did not hurt him too bad at all. Barry Earwall running in 3rd. Your lead 2 putting on a show here. Campbell Marsh, did he run out of gas? Oh, it's one of the pit road glitches. That's a bummer. We don't often see that too much anymore, but he got it. And luckily was able to get back out there. Five laps down. Brutal. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and give him there. So he's only 1 lap down. We'll treat it as a one bad pit stop instead of a lengthy long one. Well, Billy Lovejoy is right here within grasp of the race lead. Lap times are going to look a little bit something like this. Last lap was Osceola Escobar at a 30.40. Billy Lovejoy at a 30.39. So nearly identical laps, but Billy Lovejoy just a little bit quicker. 30.348 to Osceola Escobar's 30.43. So that 2 truck is coming. Osceola Escobar, a race winner this season, and Billy Lovejoy looking for race win number 1. This race is flying by quickly here tonight, as we're already at 26 laps left to go. So the 2 of Billy Lovejoy currently sits 17th in the points. Osceola Escobar, your points leader. But with a race win here tonight, either one of those 2 could definitely build a big cushion in their favor here. Borat Sagdiev is a little bit further back. Noah Hobson is much further back than normal. Cat Durham in the picture, though, and Donovan Heist. So some shuffling might happen amongst your top 5, maybe even top 10 in the points here with the USATrucks West. Let me look and see. Past season, USATrucks. Yes, you did. You won 2 races in 2025 on the West Division. Billy Lovejoy ended up winning at Sonoma and Phoenix last year. So 2 race wins to his name. And not yet a race winner here this year. So looking for race win number 1 in 2026. And he's close. He's getting right up there, right next to the 65, putting on the pressure here tonight. Lap traffic ahead might help his case a little bit. It's been green all night. No cautions all the way through 77 laps so far. How crazy would that be to have a Dale Senior style paint scheme win Talladega yesterday, and potentially even here today, the next day after the Intimidante won the Talladega race. It pains me to say that because I don't want to call it the Intimidante. It's not fair. It's not right. But either way, Carson Hocevar with his Dale Senior inspired paint scheme yesterday at Talladega took home the win. And we've got here tonight Billy Lovejoy in his Dale Senior inspired paint scheme, looking to try and make it 2 days in a row with Dale Earnhardt stylized paint cars and trucks in victory lane. Lap traffic's going to help him out a little bit. Osceola Escobar makes quick work of the 6th there of Roach. It's going to be 20 laps to go. Billy Lovejoy needs to get it dialed in here. 6 truck's going to slow him up just a little bit. Far from over with 20 laps to go. Something could go awry up at the front of the field. Could see a caution still. Green-white checkers if need be. Hopefully it's not a caution caused by your leaders here racing through lap traffic. They do have Chris Jaramillo next up, at risk of going a lap down. But Billy Lovejoy having a hard time getting around the 6 truck here, as that's allowed Mr. Escobar to really stretch it out a little bit more. And after Jaramillo, it's a big gap till the next big group of trucks there, but not much. It could be a big factor by the end of this one. Osceola, his lap time was a 30.781 without traffic ahead of him. Billy Lovejoy a little bit quicker at a 30.744. Daniel Voiles still with the fastest lap here today. No one else seems to have had any pace left after the pit stops. 0.2 faster. Billy Lovejoy knocking it down here. He's trying to catch Osceola quickly. Got Barrier Wall in 3rd, who's defending now against 4th place Matt Yard. 5th place Borat Sagdiev. 6th is David Dixon. 7th is Kat Durham. 8th place is the 11 of Matthew Hubert. Daniel Voiles in 9th, and Miko Kunez in 10th. But the battle up front's where it's getting good. Only a couple thousandths faster for Billy Lovejoy there. Not as quick this lap, where he was knocking off tenths just a lap prior. And now we're getting down to the last stint of the race here. 15 laps to go. Still no cautions here tonight. They're going to try to race this thing green to checkers without a yellow in between. It's going to be 14 laps to go now. Who's got the magic here tonight? Will the lap traffic factor in, or will they not? Doesn't look like they're catching the lap traffic near as quickly as they once were. 40 of Jaramillo. Still much slower than your race leaders, but laps are dwindling down quicker than they can catch him. And for Billy Lovejoy at this point, all he can think about is whether or not they catch that lap truck, if it's going to be a quick and easy pass or if it's going to slow down the field here. He'll have kind of a split-second decision to make, whether to make the lead change or get around the lap traffic and continue fighting for this lead. It's going to be a very situational moment. You never know what that lap truck's going to do. And just like that, look it, they're going to catch him too at the wrong spot of the track. Looks like they might catch him in turn 3 here. In the middle of a turn is a harder spot to pass. So Osceola Escobar not going to be happy with where they catch him here. That's going to slow up Osceola on the inside of turn 3. Billy Lovejoy has an opportunity to stick it up high here, but Billy Lovejoy falls back. And now Osceola gets up there on the back bumper of the 40. He's blocking his run just a little bit. And there was no contact made. It looks like the dirty air is holding up Billy Lovejoy pretty badly here. Once they caught that lap truck, it was a different story altogether. So he's got to make quick work and get around this 40 truck before he loses too much more time. 10 laps to go this time around. Still no cautions. Everything pretty much running as smoothly as it can here tonight in Kansas. Billy's going to get around him. But time is running out. And now Osceola Escobar. Uh-oh, we've got the 18 truck slowing on the apron here. Flat tire. We're not going to see a caution for a flat tire. That's pretty mild in most cases. If it was oil down, we'd probably throw caution. But 9 laps to go here tonight at Kansas. And Billy Lovejoy's right there. He might be able to do this all on pure muscle and not need to work with the lap traffic to get this. And it does look like the lap traffic might be able to stay at bay here. They may not have to deal with the lap traffic at all. Billy Lovejoy 2/10 slower that last lap. The 2 truck would definitely like to finish better than second here today. Guarantee you. Unveiling his brand new paint scheme in the truck race here tonight. And he was in the mix all the way down to the finish. 7 laps to go. It's not over until it's over. That lap was a 30.79 compared to Osceola with his 30.85. Just the ebb and flow of the momentum and the pace kind of back and forth here. Billy Lovejoy is going to be close. And it's definitely looking like it's going to go down to the last lap here tonight. 30.769 to Osceola Escobar's 30.816. Osceola can't make a mistake here because the 2 is right there and ready to pounce if mistakes are made. We've seen some last lap passes this year in the Truck Series. Especially Osceola Escobar with his last lap pass to take, or actually it was Cat Durham took the last lap pass on Osceola Escobar at Phoenix to take the win away from him. So Osceola could be on the unfortunate end of 2 of those races if this 2 truck decides and figures out how to make the pass here in the closing laps. Billy Lovejoy really not leaving himself much extra advantage here, as it's going to get right down to the end. Man, I would love to see a photo finish. I don't think we've ever seen any kind of photo finish at Kansas in Sigma Racing. But the momentum does not lie. It looks like the 2 truck is definitely a little bit faster than the 65, but laps are running out here. He is running out of chances to make it work. Lap cars are still in the picture there, just barely out of reach. And they're running about the same lap times as your leaders, so there's really no way that they're going to factor into this one here tonight. Billy's right there in the toe of the draft with the 65, and all he's got to do is continue to do what he's doing and try to close that gap a little more. With 2 laps at the line here, just a couple laps left to go. Osceola Escobar looking for race win number 2 here in 2026. Billy Lovejoy looking for race win number 1 this year in the trucks. Whoa, here we go, making a push on the outside here. 65 out of gas at the end of the race. He's unfortunately got a mild mishap there. I think they miscalculated the fuel when they went to fuel up, because now Billy Love of the field's going to shake out because we've got some more people coming down pit road on these final laps. Osceola Escobar relinquishes the lead there. Goes a lap down, and Billy Lovejoy, all he's got to do is come through turns 3 and 4, and it's smooth sailing. He's going to win here tonight in the new truck, the Good Wrench Service Plus Oreo paint scheme here tonight, victorious at Kansas, as Billy Lovejoy secures race win number 1 of 2026. Heartbreak for the 65 of Osceola, and even heartbreak for the 20 of Barry Urwall, who led most laps here today. Comes up second. Barry Urwall with a second place finish. Matt Yard third. And fourth place for Borat Sagdiev. Fifth place, Miko Kunez. Sixth, Matthew Hubert. Seventh, Kyler Sestre. Eighth, Kat Durham. Ninth place, Shy Turtle, and rounding out your top 10 was Jimmy West. Heck yeah, do it for Dale, be like Biff. The 2 takes home the victory here today, just like Carson Hocevar with his Dale Senior paint scheme. Also does Billy Lovejoy take home race win here tonight in Kansas. How awesome is that, getting to see the Dale Senior love at the front of the field both nights, both days here. It's pretty awesome. So congratulations to Billy Lovejoy on getting that first win, and now kind of asserting himself. I'll try to get the points scored tonight so that we can see. I think a second's going to do you pretty good, but I don't know where it's going to put you necessarily. So we'll definitely get those points scored hopefully tonight here for everyone. It'll get us pretty much back to square one if I do it tonight, get us ready for the next week heading into, obviously this is the off week for ARCA, so that helps a little bit too. So 7 races in, we're halfway now through the regular season of the Trucks West, and next week it'll be halfway through the Trucks East division.
Greg, did you have any ignition problems?
Congratulations to Billy Lovejoy on the victory here tonight. That was an awesome race with a lot of action at the front of the field. Billy Lovejoy outlasted and survived the fuel mileage that the others could not. Saved some fuel. Did it for Dale. Being like Biff, running out there, hauling ass and kicking ass and taking names. That's an awesome way to start the week, folks. I know it's going to be a shorter week with Bridge to Cup tomorrow night and only a Cup race on Thursday. That'll get us through this week of streaming. It's just going to be nice for me because I'll be... it'll be nice for me because it'll be a little bit more kickback, laid back. It's not going to be as daunting and exhaustive as it has been last several weeks. So thanks again for tuning in, folks. Much appreciated. Hopefully enjoyed the broadcast. Excited for tomorrow. Hopefully we'll see you in the Bridge to Cup stream. Thanks again. Have a great night. Stay safe out there. And until next time, this is Jakester signing out.